When you save a file to the cloud, where do you think it actually goes? We tend to picture it as this, this magical, placeless thing. But the reality is, your data lives on a physical server in a specific country, and it's subject to that country's laws. So let's pull back the curtain on this hidden world, where a global tug-of-war is raging over the one thing that defines our digital lives, our data.
All right, before we dive in, just so we're all on the same page, everything we're talking about today comes straight from Chapter 6 of a pretty dense report. It's called Server Virtualization and Cloud Computing Industry Predictions for 2026, and it's by Virtualization Options LLC. We're going to be laser-focused on their insights into data sovereignty and the huge regulatory headaches the tech world is up against.
So let's just start with the really basic question. Do you have any idea where your emails, your photos, or your company's most sensitive files actually live? I mean, the whole magic of the cloud is that we don't have to think about it, right? But that physical address is everything, because it determines who holds the legal keys to your digital kingdom.
And that leads us straight to this core concept, data sovereignty. It's a really simple idea on the surface, but it has massive consequences. It just means that your data has to follow the laws of the nation where it's physically sitting. Seems totally logical, doesn't it? But believe it or not, this one principle is the epicenter of a huge global conflict.
Yeah, this isn't some sleepy, theoretical legal debate. It's an active, global tug-of-war. You've got some nations on one side demanding access to data for law enforcement, and then you have other nations on the other side demanding super strict privacy protections for their citizens. And guess who's caught right in the middle? Yep, global tech companies. And this slide, wow, it just captures the collision course we're on perfectly. Look at this. On the left, you've got the U.S. Cloud Act. It gives American authorities the power to demand data from U.S. tech companies, and it doesn't matter where in the world that data is stored. But then, on the right, you've got Europe's GDPR, which basically says, whoa, not so fast. It strictly forbids moving data to countries that don't have adequate privacy laws, specifically to prevent that kind of access. It's a direct contradiction. There's just no easy answer.
So you might be wondering, how does this all play out in the real world for actual businesses? Well, the report calls it an impossible dilemma. And this is really where the abstract legal theories slam right into harsh operational reality.
This quote from the report just hits the nail on the head. It's not about trying to find a clever path forward. It's about being forced to choose which major international law you're going to break. Because if you follow one country's rules, you could be automatically violating another's. It's a nightmare. Okay, let's break down the logic of this trap, step by step, just like it's laid out here. So, step 1. A U.S. cloud provider gets a warrant for data that's sitting on a server in, say, Germany. The Cloud Act says they have to hand it over. But step 2, that data belongs to an EU citizen, and GDPR strictly forbids that kind of transfer. Which brings us to the inevitable result in step 3, the company is in a legal checkmate. If they comply with the US warrant, they face massive fines and legal action in the EU. There's literally no winning move.
So, faced with this totally impossible choice, what happened? Well, the market came up with its own solution, the sovereign cloud. You can think of these as digital fortresses, basically legally and technically sealed-off data centers built inside a specific country. The goal is simple: keep local data under local law. It's a direct workaround to the Cloud Act's global reach.
This is a complex legal maze for sure, but the good news is the report doesn't just leave us stuck in the middle of the problem. It actually provides a strategic map, a way for any organization to start finding a path forward.
So, what are the action steps? According to the report, it all starts with what's called a data sovereignty assessment. You literally have to map out where all your data is flowing and figure out which laws apply where. Once you have that map, you can move on to step 2, which is building a data residency strategy. This becomes your company's official rulebook, defining exactly where sensitive data is allowed to live and be processed. It's all about making sure you stay compliant, everywhere.
And all of this leaves us with one final and really critical question. In a world that's more connected every single day, the lines of legal authority over our digital lives are just getting blurrier and blurrier. So who is the final authority? Is it the country where you live, the country where your data is stored, or the country where your cloud provider is headquartered? The thing is, there's no simple answer anymore, and it's a question every single organization now has to answer for itself.